In this tutorial, let's take a look at how we edit one of our PLG frameworks. We'll log in and we'll tap Manage PLGs. And we'll tap the Edit button and we're taken to a screen that shows us the current version of the framework. We tap the Edit button in the top right, which switches the view to an edit mode. The framework's still presented in the main part of the screen, and we have some additional buttons across the top that allow us to insert, edit, indent and outdent, as well as delete items that are in the framework. So we're going to imagine for this tutorial that the items that you see here are for the autumn term. We want to adapt the framework so we can store them as autumn term items, but also add in some spring term items. So there's a few ways we can do this. It's quite a versatile platform. So the way we'll do it is we'll create two subheadings underneath the My Communication. We highlight My Communication and then tap the Insert Item button. We can then add the new items. We can add multiple items by putting each item on a separate line. And I'm going to untick the Enable Evidence Capture. This will make it a heading rather than a framework item that you can capture evidence against. So now I want to reorganize the existing framework items. I can do that by dragging and dropping using the handle on the right hand side of each item. And once they're in their new position, I'll need to indent them so they fall within the new heading that I've just created. So I'll select each one and then tap the Indent button. Great, so let's tap Spring 2018 and then Insert, and we're going to add the items that we want for Spring 2018 now. Again, we'll put each item on a separate line, and we'll leave the Enable Evidence Capture ticked, and then tap Save to insert the items. So I'm now going to repeat that process for all of the other items that I want to add for Spring 2018 in each of the learning areas and domains. I've looked through the framework and checked all my indents are correctly aligned underneath their respective headings. And now we want to set the assessment schema for each of those items. So we'll press the schema button in the top right. And then assigning schema is literally a case of highlight the items we want to assess. And then tap Set Schema, and then choose the required schema. Now we have the choice. We can save our work in progress and come back to it later, or we can submit it for review. And in this case, we'll submit it for review. We can supply a reason for change, and then we continue to submit for review. So this framework has now switched to a proposed state, pending approval by an assessment manager. We can no longer make changes. The previous version is still the live working version and will remain that way until an assessment manager approves these changes. As you can see, instead of the Edit Framework and Schema buttons at the top, we now have a current version and proposed version with the changes marked in red and a changelog showing the reasons and the history. So I'm now going to log in as an assessment manager and approve these changes. And as before, I tap on Manage PLGs. I can only see my PLGs in this list, so I need to tap this switch that says Show All. I can see the red icon next to the PLG that says Changes Pending. So I'll edit this PLG, and I can review the changes in red. I can look at the reasons, and I can compare the current and the proposed changes. And when I'm ready, I can tap Approve and then Confirm, and then the changes to the framework are automatically pushed to each device that's using it. And we can also see these new changes reflected in the current assessment book. And that's it. We've successfully edited this PLG framework.